All right, welcome to DFS Army's YouTube channel, Best Ball and Brews, back for another live draft. This week we got the Marathon Underdog Fantasy throwing out some really fun promos. So you do, I think, 5 of these, either fast draft or slow draft, and they're going to give you a free ticket for another draft. So I love this style of contest. Right now, we're projecting to have some overlay. Right now, it's 40% full, so that's why they're doing this promo. I don't think it's going to fill by week 1. And I got Tattoo here with me. We're going to try to take this thing down, 100K to first. This style, the Marathon. Tattoo, have you played this before?
I have not.
Okay, so essentially what this is, when we look at the rules here, is this is cumulative scoring, essentially. So it's weeks 1 through 17. So what's great about that is we don't have to worry about week 17 correlation. We don't have to worry about the playoffs, week 15, 16, and 17. So it's basically draft the best team, and you have the best shot, of course, so of winning the whole thing. And really, we have to keep that in mind. Like, you're not just trying to beat out your pod, and then it's a series of, rounds of the playoffs where you're trying to beat, the next pod. And then, you get to the 1,000-seat final, like in BBM, for example. You're trying to beat out 75,000 people right away. So you want to be in the thick of this contest as the weeks go along. Like, you want to be, hovering near that, like, top 1%. So we really want to draft a team that doesn't have, a bunch of guys taking zeros. So Rashee Rice, I'm not drafting him in this contest, for example. Judkins, I don't want him. Chris Godwin, I don't want him. So you really need a team that's going to be popping each and every week. Having said all that, what are your thoughts?
I like it. I mean, not what. I guess if you're good enough to win it, you wouldn't have to worry about getting out of your pod, but still.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So, it's a little bit of strategy difference, obviously, than, like the BBM or, the puppy, any of those contests. Obviously, it's completely different than the eliminator that, we've been covering, which is just a series of head-to-heads, and you want median scoring. Here, you need floor and ceiling in a contest like this. So we're going to jump in here. I'm not sure how long it's going to take to get into a draft. Hopefully we'll be able to get into one pretty quick. I know there's a little bit of a delay. So anyone in the stream wants to join, go ahead and keep that in mind. As soon as you hear me say 3, just go ahead and smash enter. So Marathon draft, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's not bad. What, 5 people?
5 people left. See, I would disagree with that. This contest, you need floor and ceiling. So I really think this is a contest where you very much want to be thinking about betting on teams. So, like, for example, in fact, I could probably go I can go last year and look at the Drafters Million contest if we got a few minutes. We got 3 minutes here. So let's see. Drafters, they have a similar type style. So let's go and see what won this contest last year. I didn't play a ton over there. Actually did pretty well. I had one similar style, but I had one lineup that actually placed in the top 300 in that contest last year. But let's go look at first place and see what their type of build was. And it looks like we still are waiting for 3 people. So, yeah, and this won't show the score, of course. But this is the overall standings. No, this is a playoff best ball. Okay, so the million is what I wanted to look at. So let's go to the overall standings for the Drafters Million, which is a very similar style. It's cumulative scoring, so it's very similar to the Marathon, essentially. Bengal Buck was the guy that won this contest last year, and I promise you there was a lot of stacking going on. So waiting for two people now. Okay, so Bengal Buck, he actually won $500,000, and what he had was Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase stack, and Mike Gesicki. So he had Joe Burrow +2. His other quarterbacks were Geno Smith, who was with Seattle, and Sam Darnold, who was with Minnesota. So he had Geno Smith stacked with JSN. He had Jordan Addison as well. So stacking is still very prevalent. Like I said, you really need to bet on teams, and you need a floor/ceiling combo. So stacking is going to be important. But more importantly, you have to hit those guys who are going to essentially win you the tournament. They're going to really outproduce their ADP from where you drafted them. Bucky Irving was one of those guys last year. Josh Jacobs was a fantastic third-round pick in drafts. Lad McConkey. So you definitely see a lot of those in this lineup. So that's something we're obviously going to want. Stacking is important. All right, Tattoo. Did you get in on this one?
I did not. I needed to reload my bankroll on there, so I didn't.
No worries. You can help me draft. So we got the one spot.
Ooh.
And if anyone in the chat made it in, let me know. Yeah, Ivan, we got a double dose of Tattoo today. I mean, I didn't even seen him in a little bit. We're not in a draft together anymore. We had our season long draft, so I haven't actually chatted with you in a minute. It's been about a week.
I'm drowned in slow draft.
For me, I really think that Tank Bigsby. I'm just going to go ahead and take Jamar Chase right here. I think Tank Bigsby is the guy this year. But I mean, there is a case to be made that Travis Etienne was hurt last year, and he's going to have a role. We are talking about a first-round running back. I also have been getting Bashal Tootin exposure, getting shares of Bashal Tootin, who kind of profiles like a Tank Bigsby. He is very explosive, so it's interesting. I think it's a very ambiguous backfield, and I don't really think there's a right answer. I kind of just want to get a little bit of everyone. That said, I've kind of been a Bigsby guy. I thought he looked really good last year, in the limited amount of opportunities that he had. And of course, he got a little banged up and kind of fell down the stretch. But my guy.
I've been drafting so many super flex leagues. I got to turn my brain back around.
You've been doing super flex?
All those leagues Geek had me start. They're all, super flex best ball.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally different, right? It's like you typically want to go quarterback in the first round unless you're picking towards the end, and you kind of just, you get a Jamar Chase type thing. And then, try to get quarterback with your next pick. All right. I see you made it in there. Fongul 69. So nothing too crazy to start the draft. Kind of what you'd expect. Derrick Henry, Gianti, Puka Nacua falling a little bit. And, that's just a really, at one point he was going at 7 or 8. That's just because of Matthew Stafford.
I was going to say that the Stafford effect.
Are you serious?
What?
Could someone check this right now? I can't do this. I can't do this on live stream. Let me know.
I certainly feel like I would have gotten an alert.
A notification for that? Yeah, I don't know. I got time. You're probably punking us, Philly Mike. That's something a dude from Philly would do for sure.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
All right, Darth. Keep an eye out on that. I mean, I wouldn't think it would make any sense at this point, considering they just signed him to a long-term extension. I could see that happening near the trade deadline if they are just getting smoked every week because of their defense. But at this point in the season before week 1, have a hard time seeing that happening.
The trade that I'm expecting is one I don't want to ever come about. Micah Parsons.
All right. So I took Josh Jacobs there. Started with Jamar Chase. I think I'm going to take T. Higgins, and we're going to see. I mean, I'm hoping that T. Higgins did not just get traded to the Chiefs, because then this stack is completely wasted. We're going to see if Burrow can make his way back to me. If not, we'll pivot. But yeah, we're playing for upside here. So want a good team, a team that's going to score, consistently high points each and every week. But we also want sailing. I tend to think that Cincinnati is going to be worse defensively than they were last year. I don't know what your thoughts are about that, Tattoo, but I think they're setting up to be worse than they were last year, especially if Trey Hendrickson is not on the field. If he gets traded, even if he comes back, he might not be, up to speed for a minute. And I want a lot of Cincinnati. And there's 18 roster spots here. So I'm okay with the chalk Cincy stack, and I can look to get different everywhere else.
Yeah, that defense should be bad.
Ivan, now you're just trolling me. I don't want to see that.
I want to know why Pasta would wish that on Micah Parsons to have to play for the Bears.
Yeah.
If he goes anywhere, I bet you it'll be New England or Washington. I think he wants to play for Dan Quinn.
Who? Micah Parsons?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to go to Washington, though, because they wouldn't trade him to a divisional opponent. But I mean, I could definitely see New England. I could see there's some teams.
They're going to have a lot of draft picks,
Yeah.
to give up. How many Super Bowls did Khalil Mack win with Bears?
That's a good point. So I'm with you, Darth, and my thing every single week this year in DFS is I'm going to play at least one Bengal stack. And it's going to be lock and load. I got my Bengal stack ready to go. I don't care if they're chalk. I don't care what the spread is. I just know that defense it's going to be cheeks all year long, and they're going to have to score. And I know they're going to be in the nuts several times. I mean, if you look back at last year, they were in the nuts a lot of weeks.
I always think of the Bears as having a better defense than offense.
The Bears are interesting because
Bears need to be a running team in that atmosphere in Chicago.
Yeah.
That just needs to be a ground and pound down your throat team.
If I was the Bears, I would be calling the Jets about Brees Hall. I would be calling the Commanders about Brian Robinson Jr. I just think they need another back better than what they had. Specifically, if you can get Brees Hall, I mean, that would be nuts.
Hey, they can have Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams if they want.
Yeah.
I'll give them for a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
All right, we'll see. If he makes it back to me. Most of the time, Burrow does not make it back because there's always one jerk who does not want to see you get that stack, and they will blow up their entire draft just so you don't get the stack. But
Burrow already went.
Where did he go?
He's in round 2.
Oh, my God. I didn't even notice that because he went so soon. What happened there? I've never seen him go that soon. Okay. All right. I'm just going to take him.
Maybe it was somebody who
just because I was about to
wanted to make sure he was going to blow your stack up.
That's fine. I think I'm going to say Worthy here. Yeah, I see that now. Honestly, I wasn't even paying attention to that because that is so unbelievably early for Burrow to go right there. What are we doing here, bro? He didn't even get T. Higgins, so why would you do that? So you're going to stack Burrow with Joseki? I promise you that is not going to be the stack that you're going to need.
I'm going to sabotage my own team so I can sabotage somebody else's.
It happens a lot. But I actually would have expected it here. That's typically where Burrow will go. When he's coming back to you on the 4 or 5 turn.
I had a draft with like Jahmyr Gibbs, ASB, JMO, what's the tight end? I can't think.
So
And I'm waiting. Yeah, and I'm waiting, and then like some guy just grabs golf, and I'm like, why? I have all his weapons. Why do you want him?
It's funny. I get it. So I've done it before when I get sniped on my quarterbacks and like a quarterback falls like 20 spots past ADP and I just know he's going to be in a good offense. Like, yeah, I'll take him and maybe I do a backdoor stack. Maybe I just have him unstacked as long as my other quarterbacks have stacks. But like, yeah, you'll see people and they'll take a quarterback just like this guy who clearly does not want to know what he's doing. Will take him way above ADP unstacked, and it's like, no, this is a negative EV move right here.
And he took him a buck before Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy, and it's funny because in hindsight, I probably should have taken Josh Allen there.
Well, you didn't see that somebody took Burrow.
Yeah, I was watching Josh Allen and I was watching Higgins, and that's kind of one of those things where like it's just probably because I was on a live stream that I wasn't paying a good enough attention as much as I should have. So I got 3 guys with a week 10 bye. That is very concerning. So I will not draft another wide receiver with a week 10 bye because that's the kind of thing in this type of contest that just really will crush you if you have a down week like that.
Yeah, how to recover. Did the Daniel Jones news do anything for you? Like as
yes
far as
and
wide
no.
receivers or
yeah, lately I had been taking more Richardson where I wasn't taking him at all. And then early offseason, I was taking a lot of Daniel Jones, like back in June. Yeah. So like I'm interested to go look back at some of those teams because I was getting him in like the last round. And honestly, I think they're both probably going to play this year.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It really depends. So this guy has now sniped me twice. He took Burrow and Mahomes. I mean, it's just
are they in here?
But it's fine. That's all right. So what I'm gonna
seems like a Eagles fan.
I'm just gonna take Knicks for the brand and because I can stack Knicks later, like with so many options along the way. Like I don't have to stack him with Sutton. I can stack him with Ingram. I can stack him with Mims. I can stack him with other wide receivers that I don't even want to say so I don't get sniped.
Yeah, don't.
Olave's a guy I've been getting a lot of just because he's a good wide receiver. Like routes per run, like fantasy points per route run, like he's one of the best wide receivers in the league. Sure, he doesn't have a quarterback, but we've seen guys like Malik Neighbors without a quarterback, like smash. So Chris Olave is not Malik Neighbors, but I mean, I just got him at the end of the 6th round. So, you're not the cost is baked into that. You're not getting him like you get Malik Neighbors at 1-9. And last year we were getting Malik Neighbors at the end of the 2nd round and we were happy with it. So I'm good with Olave. I think they're going to be throwing the ball a lot because they're going to be losing a lot. And he's a good guy to have as 4th wide receiver.
And they're number 1.
So, Tattoo, you are a Cowboys fan. Tell me, what are you hearing? Because I know it's been Javonte, and that's kind of been the guy that I've been thinking is most likely to start the season as a starter. But does Jaden Blue have a chance?
I think so.
Miles Sanders, what are your thoughts?
I think Blue. I think he's impressed a lot of people. They had that early. Some outside former reporter said he was lazy. Whether I guess he said it came from the staff, but they have all pretty much said that wasn't true and that, he's looked really good.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be
most definitely.
Yeah.
Bungool, let's see what you did here. You got Derrick Henry, Chase Brown. I like that. I love Kittle in the third. I like what you've done at wide receiver. You got Purdy, so I love your stack. I actually really love your team so far. You got a Kittle, or you got a Purdy triple. Jennings might be a little much but I like how you were able to piece that together. I really like your team so far. So 4 picks away. Dobbins went. Tyler Warren just went. So Hawkinson just went. I got to look at getting another running back. I got Jacobs. I got Kamara. I really don't like my running backs so far. I like Jacobs. And Kamara, I don't know. He could get there. But Kamara definitely brings the floor. I don't know that he brings a ceiling at this point in his career on the offense that he's on. But if Kamara was a guy to get dealt, like, God, that would be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going to take Jaylen Warren. I think he's going to be very prominent early on, and that's going to be important. I'm going to take Evan Ingram. I'm going to get a tight end here, and I got my Bo Nix stack. I think Ingram is going to be the number 2 in the Broncos offense behind Coyle Sutton as far as targets.
Yeah, I have a ton of Ingram.
Tight end run time, yep. I'm high on Tyler Warren. Tattoo, I know you are too. Yeah. I think he's going to be a focal point of the Indy offense this year. From what it sounds like, he's going to be getting runs. He's going to be getting a lot of targets. Like, I think there's a good chance that he's just going to be the guy that you want in that offense, especially at his ADP. In the 8th round.
He might be the best quarterback on the team.
Yeah, so Kamara's one of those guys that's like, I know they extended him last year, but this is a losing team. He's getting older. If the Saints start out like 0-4, 0-5, 1-4, like, I could totally see a team calling and making a deal for Kamara, and suddenly your guy who you got in the 4th round, and has a questionable ceiling, but he's got a decent floor. Suddenly, in the right spot, he actually could have a high ceiling. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for with Kamara. Kamara, Breece Hall, like all this Brandon Allen talk, I'm like, just trade Breece Hall. Like, yeah. I'm sorry, Breece Hall is too good of a football player to be in a timeshare with anybody. And there goes Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, 10th round, beginning of the 10th round. Dude, he's just been going crazy. Like,
yeah.
Brian Robinson Jr. has not been traded yet as of today. JCM has not been named the starter, but there's been a steady drumbeat, and everyone's just drafting like he's a starter. It's nuts.
All right, so I have dynasty leagues where I was just picking him up as a free agent.
Yeah.
It didn't last long because then they started becoming bidding wars for him.
Right. So I like JCM. I've been taking him a good amount lately, but I was taking him before like the hype for these preseason games before the Brian Robinson Jr. trade. Talk started happening, and now that like he's just shooting up the board, it just doesn't make sense, I don't think, to just like chase him up the board. Especially, like, it depends on the contest. Like, if you're in a contest specifically like this one that has been open for a long time, people have been drafting him in like the final round. So now you're trying to beat those teams that have been drafting him in the 18th and 19th round, and you're drafting him in the 10th round. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, you need to be looking for other guys in those final rounds that could be the guys that you need.
I agree with Pasta. I like Chris Rodriguez.
Yeah, he looked good. He's looked good.
Looked good last year, with the limited spots he'd get.
Yeah. All right. So I double tap. I think I might have to double tap running back right here. I think I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take Tank Bigsby and Ramondre. I think Ramondre is still going to have a role, still going to get goal line carries. It's not going to be all Travion Henderson. And like I said, someone asked earlier in the comments, Bigsby. It's been more Bigsby and Tootin for me than ETN. Yeah. 100%. I mean, we've been doing this long enough that we know, like, it doesn't always go the way you want it to, the way you think it's going to go. Like, that's just kind of how these things go in the NFL.
I know. One day you're sitting there, and then the next your owner comes out and says, "I don't really care about winning, as long as we sell tickets at our spectacle."
Yeah. Is that your owner? Is that Jerry?
Yeah.
What do you got there?
Black Rifle energy drinks.
Energy drink? Okay.
They're pretty good.
I mean, it's some kind of brew.
Yeah.
It's
zero sugar.
All right. These guys are going to make it back to me. We shall see. I can't draft another Week 10 wide receiver. That I know. Let's see what we got for quarterback. Probably need to take another quarterback soon. It's tough. I still can't believe this guy took both of my quarterbacks that I plan on sacking. Did he draft? He didn't even draft Rashee Rice. When did Rashee Rice go? Rashee Rice, yeah. So he didn't draft Rashee Rice either. Didn't get Kelsey. Good Lord. Yeah, that's the thing. Eckler's name hasn't been mentioned in trade rumors. And he's a receiving back, so he's not going to go away. Like in obvious passing situations, he's very much going to be on the field. There we go. What's up, Raz?
Holy smoke.
Now we got a quarterback run going here. Burden and Mims both went. Yeah, there was no way I was going to be able to stack Mims. Might have to take another tight end here, just the way the room is falling a little bit. I don't want to take too many rookies in this format. They come on late, so
Hunter Henry's still available.
What's that?
Hunter Henry.
Yeah, that's a good point. Might have to take another quarterback. We got Tillman, DeMario Douglas. I don't know. Tough decisions. All right, I'm just going to take Tillman here. 3, 4, 5. All right. I think I'll take DeMario Douglas there. I was thinking about taking Cam Ward, but he went before I went. And, I want some guys that are going to be a steady part of the offense. One of the things about Jerry Jeudy is everyone is forgetting about Cedric Tillman because Jeudy had those really big weeks when Cedric Tillman was out, when he had that concussion and he was out. I really think it's going to be pretty evenly split between Tillman and Jeudy. And Tillman's a guy you can get way later. Like, he had some really good weeks before he had that concussion. And just as, like, his draft profile, like, as a prospect, he looked pretty good. He was quite underrated. And then DeMario Douglas, the slot role in the Mike McDaniel's offense is pretty – Josh McDaniel's offense, rather, is pretty good. So I think, getting some guys here that can help me for that Week 10 bye, the big Week 10 bye with Jamar Chase and Worthy, I'm quite worried about. Even though I think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are going to have great years. And also Xavier Worthy, because it sounded like Rashee Rice is going to be suspended minimum 6 games. And maybe as high as 10 games. Have you drafted Rashee Rice this year, Tattoo?
I have not.
Anyone in the comments, how much Rashee Rice do you have? I've basically been fading him all year, and it was – I got to tell you, it's like playing DFS and, like, fading chalk. And a lot of sharp people are, like, playing the chalk, and you're just like, this is getting stupid. I'm fading him, and every podcast I listen to, they're, like, hyping up Rashee Rice. So I've basically been fading him. But the reason I've been fading him is because the looming suspension and because Xavier Worthy was a first-round draft pick last year he's a really good talent. Like, he's a very explosive player. And, a lot of people just thought he was a deep threat. Well, they got a lot of manufactured touches to him last year, and he really improved as the season went on. And I'm just like, I thought he was going to have a bigger role regardless and cut into some Rashee Rice. And you keep in mind, like, the suspension and the injury. And I've just been fading Rashee Rice.
Yeah.
We'll see how it works.
I'll take my chances.
Oh, yeah, we're the same. I've got him, like, a few times in, like, Mahomes builds, but that's basically been it. All right, Juan. What do you guys say? I'm about to pick here, so take a look at that, Tattoo. Let me know what you think. Oh, my goodness.
I see a kicker, so I'm guessing it's full PPR.
Sheesh.
Wide receiver has me worried a little bit.
The receiver?
Well, I mean, Adams, because of Stafford, got Cooper Kupp. We'll see if he can come back. Then it's Debo and Addison. Then Josh Downs.
Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Kittle, Adams, Kupp, Henderson, Charbonnet, Debo, Addison, Downs. Yeah, it's kind of hard to follow. I think you did pretty good. I think you're a little weak at wide receiver, but
yeah, that was the only thing I said thought was
but you're really strong at running back from the looks of it. With Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Henderson, Charbonnet is like a upside, handcuffed to Kenneth Walker. Like, if Kenneth Walker is done for the year, like, Charbonnet is a league winner. You're running your quarterbacks, I think, are pretty good. At least you got.
I do love Josh Downs.
One, yeah. I think a lot of it depends on how Cooper Kupp does.
Yeah,
Cooper Kupp is not completely washed. Like, I think you got a good team, and honestly, if this is a home league, like, you can definitely play the waiver wire and be fine.
I have a lot of Kupp. I was taking a lot of him in the beginning. I like Downs more than Pittman.
Yeah, I think overall you did pretty good. I think it's a pretty good draft.
Yeah,
I like Downs more than Pittman too. All right, so we got a 2-5-6-2 build here. I got to draft another quarterback for sure. We'll see who I get. I could probably maybe be okay at tight end. I like Ingram, and when Likely gets healthy, like, I think this is a good 1-2 combo that's got a good floor and ceiling combination. Because Likely has a high ankle sprain. He's probably not going to play week 1. I don't need him right away, but I will need him at some point. So I might draft another tight end. I think I probably need to take another running back.
Alexa, shut up, please. Thank you, Alexa.
Writers.
It's 7:35 every night that the NFL alerts come on.
Your AI girlfriend. Tell her to go to sleep.
She tells me when to go to sleep.
Okay. All right. So we're about 4 picks away. We got 3 picks left. tough decisions here. Tough decisions. All right, I think I know what I'm going to do. I do think I need another wide receiver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I definitely need 7 wide receivers. We'll see what's left. I think I'm just going to roll 2 tight ends in this format.
I like Alec Pierce.
So I'm going to take Pat
But
Bryant.
I didn't see him.
Yeah. I think Pat Bryant there's been a steady drumbeat with him. He's a guy that I think Jesus.
You know, it's been about a month or so ago, Geek constantly would chirp me when I was like, "Oh, you're taking Mims. Oh, look, you took Mims. Oh, you took Mims.
Yeah.
You took Mims." And then it's like he started taking them all the time after that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying because of me or anything, but it was
Yeah.
At first he's harassed me, and then I think he said or saw, or whatever. But
yeah,
he also said he could never draft him because I always took him too early.
Yeah, that's what the problem when you're in the same draft with everyone all the time. So Darth, I was thinking about taking him. I'm glad you said that. He's been looking really good. Really good. And Brandon Stokely, who used to play in the NFL, he does local Denver sports radio talk. And even he was saying when, this guy was drafted, the pundits were saying they overdrafted him, it's a 3rd round pick and could have got him in the 4th or 5th round. And he's like, the way he's played on the field, he's looked like a 2nd round pick. So, I think he's a guy that would be good in Nick stacks. And I don't have any other wide receivers besides Evan Ingram. So, yeah, that's going to be a gamble. And regardless, when we just looked at the drafters million, which is the same format as this, you have to have guys that really outperform their ADP. Last year it was Bucky Irving and Chase Brown. Whether it's a running back or a wide receiver, a couple years ago it was Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams. You have to find those gems in the end of the draft for sure.
As a Bronco, whatever happened to was it Troy Franklin?
So Troy Franklin's been the other guy who's had a really good camp. He caught 2 touchdowns in the preseason game the other night. So he's a guy I've been taking as well, in the final round, essentially.
Is he above was it Ville?
Yeah, so the depth chart is really crazy right now. We don't really know what it's going to be. We know Cortland Sutton's the one.
Yeah,
Mims has hardly played in the preseason, much like Sutton, so he's kind of locked in as the number 2 wide receiver. And then obviously Ingram is, the starting tight end. And then after that, it's probably going to be a rotation of Pat Bryant, Franklin. Although Pat Bryant, he kind of has a skill set that he can play opposite Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
So he's kind of he's been compared to Michael Thomas. He's, that's what Sean Payton compared him to, but he's also been compared to Tim Patrick, who played opposite Cortland Sutton. So, all right, we're going to do another one after this. Taj Brooks just went. I'm going to take Dameon Pierce here. I've been hearing a lot of buzz about him that Chubb just might be done. And Dameon Pierce, they run more of they're going to be running more of a gap scheme, which is what he ran his rookie year. When he was successful. So Mixon, from the sound of it, I'm starting to see a lot of rumors that Mixon might not even play this year. It's starting to kind of sound like Christian McCaffrey last year, essentially. So I'm willing to take a shot there with Dameon Pierce in the last round. Overall, I didn't love the draft, just because I obviously got sniped on Joe Burrow and T. Higgins, which was fine. And that's my fault for missing that. But, I wanted to get a worthy Mahomes stack and missed that. And I think I did okay considering that. I like the running backs overall, Josh Jacobs, Kamara, the room. Same with the wide receivers. But, we'll kind of see how it goes. Let's see what Fangul did. Henry Brown.
Well,
So we went
review,
over
and I'm gonna jump out of here real quick and let my dogs out. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. And by the way, Raz, if you're still around, you want to hop in for this next draft, let me know, man. So Fungul we had that Purdy triple stack with Pearsall, Kittle, and Jennings. Started Henry and Chase Brown, so I love that. And got Tet in there. Pacheco. I like Pacheco this year. I think he's going to have a nice bounce back. Got Judkins. That's the only pick I don't like that you made. Just because I think where you got him in the 9th round, like he's not even signed yet, and he hasn't been with the team at all. So like we're talking no training camp. Like we just don't know what's going to happen with Judkins, and for this format, I don't love it as much. I like the Fields pick. I like Mims. I think maybe you probably didn't need 3 quarterbacks in 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds or 5 rounds. Probably could have waited a little bit for your 3rd quarterback. But overall, I think you got some pretty good players. And honestly, hopefully Henry, Chase Brown, and Pacheco carry you, and maybe Judkins will come on later on in the year, but we'll see. Yeah, so it's interesting because he started to fall far enough that, I've been taking some Joe Mixon a little bit, but I'm really starting to just hear so much just from like the beat writers, just like to your point, and just, actual like NFL, doctors, like analysts, doctors and analysts, but like Mixon just is not going to play in it. If it's not like this year, like he might not play for the first, 4 games, might not play for the first like 6 games. And that's just not like what you want to hear. Not for where he's going. Like his ADP has not fallen far enough for that. Yeah. Yeah. And I just don't like that. And then you think about like they had a lot of offensive line problems last year. Like, yeah, he ran really hot, but like they got a completely new offensive line. And I just don't love it. Like where did he go in this draft? Yeah. So he went 8th round. Of course, he went from the guy that took Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes. I mean, Brian Robinson, who's on the trade block. He took Mixon, and then Kareem Hunt final round. All right, I'm gonna stop saying stuff for our boy here. I feel bad. Who knows? He might be in the stream, and he's just like, this Fling guy's a jerk. All right. Let's see if Tattoo wants to get back in here. Give everyone a chance to hop back in here. I'll give Tattoo like 20 seconds, and then we will start this thing. So it's interesting. I was wanting to do the Pomeranian. I cannot believe how fast this fills. Dude, they launched this like 3 days ago, and it's already got like 66,000 entries. I really wish that Underdog would do a contest like this and have it with like 1 million entrants so that you can actually have a chance to max enter this contest. Because like 2 weeks before the season, and they're about to speed the clocks up like tomorrow or Thursday, I don't want to enter 50 slows. Like I've only been able to get a couple of these in, doing like 1 a day or whatever. I really wish they would have just like a massive, like low stakes contest. Maybe they will. Maybe they will next year as best ball gets more and more popular. But we'll see. All right, let's start this. Since we are on a live stream, we will go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're going to draft another marathon. We got 4 more people. Maybe if Tattoo can get back in time, he can log into this one. Actually, I'm not even sure he's going to make it because from what he said, he had to reload his account. Not sure if he did that. We got 4 more people to go. I know. And they got that. I haven't decided whether I'm going to enter the big eliminator yet, but I'm not sure if you guys have seen. This one is similar but different. So it's $100 entry fee, but there's only 27, entrants in this as opposed to the like 196,000 in the other. 17 weeks of advancement, 50K to first. So we'll see. I might hop in here. But yeah, I like these contests that looking like there's going to be some overlay. That's obviously positive expected value. So yeah, I'll probably enter 5 of these, get my free ticket, and take a shot at 100K. The other thing is, dang, Sean. All right. So you plan to do a bunch of those regular eliminators, and it filled too fast. So you basically were just like, yeah, I guess I will just hop into 3 of these. What is it? Is there a difference so far in ADP? I'm curious about that. Yeah, I was listening to Peter Overzet today. Actually was doing a live stream, and they were talking about a little bit of like strategy difference for this one. So I'm interested to, finish that stream actually and just kind of like dive into it a little bit. I know it is a little bit of a different format. It's not a series of head-to-heads. From the sound of it, yeah. From the sound of it, it was very much like the same payout structure as last year's. So that's interesting.
Sean told me that y'all don't need to bother drafting because he's going to win everything.
Yeah. By the way, Sean, how many did you get in of the eliminator? I got in like 53. I was wanting to do 75. And literally that contest, watching it feel was like a DFS contest before, like an hour before lock. Like in that final day, it was only going up like 1% per day. So I thought I'd have a bunch of time to get in some slows. And I was at work and it was like 97% filled. And it just kept like shooting up like faster and faster. Then it was like 98%, 99. And then I went to enter a bunch of slows and they weren't allowing any more slows at that point. And I actually got into like the last draft. I was at work and I just did a fast draft. And when it was done, it was like contest full. It was crazy. Yeah, I saw that. It's Jaden Daniels is basically the number one that you were supposed to have, the number 1 quarterback, just based on the buys. Nice. So yeah, you got double what I have. Good for you, man. I really wanted to max the contest and just didn't start it early enough. And I did I did 45 weekly winners too. So if I had been drafting the eliminator the whole time instead of the weekly winners, I would have been able to get in 100 next year. All right. So we're in another one. We're picking second this time.
Ooh. I like 1, 2, or 11, 12.
Yeah. I like picking on the turns. By the way, guys, I do think next week I'm going to do a drafters contest. So if you've never played on drafters before, their main event pays $500K to first. It's similar style. It's a $20 buy-in. They do a deposit match. So if you haven't signed up on there, you can use my code FantasyFling, and that'll get you a deposit match to get you some free credits to take a shot at $500K. But similar style, it's much softer room than Underdog. So I think we're going to hop over there next week and do one of those drafts. But make sure you sign up ahead of time. That way we can, tack it and fill the draft pretty quick. If you're in the U.S. or Canada, you can sign up for drafters. So it's not like state specific like some of the other.
Your pod and chat has been taken over by the NHL hockey goons.
I see that.
Like you got me, Pasta, and Sean all in here.
Yeah. You're crazy. Here it is. You're crazy with 31% Rashid Shaheed.
How much Spencer Rattler you got?
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is, Razzle. It definitely is. Yeah, it's if you look at the ADPs, like it's pretty telling for sure.
Raz, can you get the Red Sox and the Orioles to start scoring some runs?
The reason why the marathon isn't filling is because they incorporated the marathon in BBM. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Because they pay for the highest score and season long. Yeah, so you really have to have like a better price point for it, right? Because like the BBM is like $25. Maybe you have the marathon like more of the eliminator where it's like $10. The eliminator and the weekly winners, I think that would have been a better idea. You make it much more entrance, but it's only like $10 for an entry fee. All right. So Fungul didn't make it. Did anyone make it in this? I don't think so. That's all good. So we got a Bijan start.
Otter in there.
What's that?
I said, is there a majestic otter in there?
I don't think he made it. No.
Sean made it in there.
No. So one surprise, Nico Collins went at 1.6. That's very early for Nico Collins. So let's see if that pushes anything down to us. I think I want to do, let's see how the board falls, but I would like to get, in this format, having that ceiling upside of an elite quarterback is ideal. I don't like my quarterbacks last draft. I like Nick's, but I don't want Nick's to be like my best quarterback. Like that's a problem. I want to like pair Nick's with like a Drake May, like another quarterback who could be an ascending quarterback, or like a Mahomes, like a Justin Herbert. The three quarterbacks I had last draft, not good. So we need to do better this one.
I'd say Nix and May are my highest owned quarterbacks.
Yeah, sure. I have a lot of both of those guys too.
I would just like to say that I was pumping Drake May last year every morning on pre-lock, and he got laughed at for half the season. Oh. Can y'all two calm down?
I appreciate you joining, Sean. Hell yeah, man. Honestly, I didn't plan on doing this one today either, but when I saw that little promo and I was like, let's chase some overlay. Let's try to win 100K. All right, perfect.
And,
so
Fling said he's all in on hockey this year. He's going to play every night.
There you go. Well, me?
Yeah.
I do need to play. It's funny. I was just using the cheat sheet, and I was just not knowing anything about stacking, not knowing anything about hockey. I would just use the cheat sheet and just smash a love on or an adore on a couple guys and hit, in the DS and just put those in the like multipliers. And I was profitable in hockey. I stopped doing it though.
This year we got the legacy stacking back.
Yeah.
Like in baseball, you got stack 1, stack 2. If you you can do 5-2 and pick which teams are where. Now in hockey, we got stack 1, stack 2, stack 3. So you can put percentage of which teams you want and everywhere, which, hockey is so correlated. You have to be able to, stack correctly.
Right.
Where baseball, essentially every batter correlates.
Right. Yeah. And it's funny though, because I would scan the DS and I'd be like, okay, there's like a lot of these guys are on the cheat sheet with like a high confidence. And then like, I was like, there'd be like 2 or 3 players from the same team. So I'd just be like, all right, this is the lineup I'm going to choose,
Then look at Sean. He's the cheat D whisperer. Like he'll find you like this random, hey, play so and so. He's $2,700 on defense, and you're like, who? And then he's like, oh look, he had 10 blocks tonight.
Yeah.
He's a hockey savant.
Love it.
I mean, I feel like I know so much about hockey, then like you talk to Sean and you feel stupid.
I used to watch a lot of hockey. I watch the Avs, but like when I was a kid in like the 90s when the Avs came to Colorado, like
Yeah.
and we had, Patrick Waugh and Joe Sakic and Peter Forsberg and like Claude Lemieux. Like I watched hockey, like I watched all the games back then.
Yeah. I mean, when hockey season starts from 7 p.m. to 1:30 a.m., I'm like just straight hockey.
Yeah.
It's an addiction.
It's a great sport. Love it. All right, I'm back on the clock. That's a tough one. I'm gonna say Calvin Ridley. I do want some good floor, and I got it with him. I also can stack up Cam Ward, who I can get later. This is my second quarterback. I think Calvin Ridley can potentially lead the league in targets this year. I mean, Cam Ward has no one else to throw to.
Yeah. Who is their number 2?
I mean, you could say it's Lockett. Take James Conner there. Fight the homer urging me to draft RJ Harvey. In this contest, obviously, you want some solid running backs. You want solid wide receivers. You need that floor and ceiling. So far, I'm pretty happy with the way this has fallen to me. And, with the first 5 picks, I think I got a combination of that. Yeah, so I've been drafting him a little bit late, but here's the thing. We were talking about this earlier. It doesn't always go how you think it's going to go. Like everyone wants JCM to be like the starting running back, and maybe he is. But same thing with like these rookie wide receivers who flash in preseason. They rarely come out of the gate unless they were highly regarded, like a Malik Neighbors or a Brian Thomas Jr. They rarely come out of the gate and like have a big impact right away. He may be the guy that comes on late in the season, but like in a format like this, for example, like Tyler Lockett may be the guy that you want early. So
I assume that's as loud as for y'all as it is for me.
it's pretty loud.
Charles, did you hear that?
My guy. Yeah, they were, dude. Did you watch that documentary on I can't remember the name, but it was the bloodbath. Was it like Unrivaled? I can't remember the name. It was pretty crazy.
I feel like I had that. You ever see the Matt Rife crowd working with that lady who brought him cookies and his daughter or whatever? But well, the lady
I like
had
he's a tight end.
had like a squeaky toy inside of her breast implants.
Oh my god.
Okay, Charlie.
No, actually, Chick probably will be he could potentially be the guy that gets the second most targets in the offense. So he's probably right there. And he's the number 2 potentially receiving option in the offense, but yeah, we'll see.
Sean, my dog is chewing a hockey stick that squeaks. No chickens were harmed in this.
Hey, Buka. There he went.
Why is everything?
Yeah, that was a crazy rivalry. Just crazy. All right, got Stephon Diggs there. Love him for what I'm seeing from Stephon Diggs. I don't know. I don't know how he's doing it. I don't know how he's kind of like returning from the ACL injury and just looking so good and like on track to play week 1. Maybe it's the pink powder. I don't know. It's a magic powder. All right, I'm back on the clock again. Tough decision. All right,
I'm not hip enough to know what pink powder is. I mean, I know, the Diggs thing, but like what pink powder actually would be in the drug world, I would have no clue.
Yeah, I know. I've been out of the game for a while too. I wouldn't know what that is either.
I'm like, y'all are sniffing pink powder?
Oh man.
We're like, up north told me that, because I think he's a teacher too.
Yeah.
But kids are taking like, like those drink mixes and pouring it into hand sanitizer and drinking it.
Dude, that's crazy. I mean, when I was in high school, people would drink Robitussin. They call it RoboTrip.
Yeah.
But hand sanitizer, I mean, at least Robitussin's a syrup.
Let me tell you from a bad experience, drinking hand sanitizer is awful.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Because in my case, somebody stuck it in a water bottle in my refrigerator.
In a water bottle? So I hope you figured out right away.
I
hope you didn't just bug it before you figure that out.
No, I took a good chug first.
All right, let's see how this room is.
I see Raz in high school, they drink beer, which obviously I did too, but I remember like in 7th, 8th, 9th grade, we used to go to this little country convenience store and steal bottles of Mad Dog 2020.
Oh my God, Mad Dog 2020. So there's an arcade bar not far from my house, and they have bottle service, and they have Mad Dog 2020. I think
we're fine as Boone's Farm.
Yeah, we're having a draft party this weekend. I was joking about drinking Mad Dog 2020. But when I'm with Razzo, we just drank a lot of beer. Like,
yeah,
we just went to Kegger and did keg stands.
Yeah. Like, who's going to get the either Natty Light or try to think of another cheap beer.
All right, 4 picks away. Who do we like? I mean, there's a couple guys on the board here I definitely be a fan of.
He a fan.
Yeah, it's an interesting little pocket here. We're probably going to get a little bit of run on quarterbacks. Okay, Warren went. I think I want to pick Tyler Warren here. Want to get a good tight end. Don't want to wait too long on tight end. You really want just across all positions in this format. Like you want to be like scoring consistently every week. So kind of, I think balanced builds are really the way to attack this type of format. Not that like zero RB can't work or,
Strawberry Hill is Boone's Farm, right? Or is it two different things?
I don't know. Okay. Actually, I'm going to take Keon Coleman here.
Ooh.
Keon Coleman, I'm with Geek on this one. I've heard Geek talk about Keon Coleman a lot. With Khalil Shakir maybe not ready to start the season. And listen, Josh Palmer, he's been in the league a long time. He's not good. Like, he wasn't good last year. He's just not like consistent and reliable. And Keon Coleman, this was I want to say he was the end of the first round wide receiver, maybe beginning of the second round wide receiver. Pretty good prospect. I think he's going to take a leap in his sophomore year. And then I have my stack here with Josh Allen. Josh Allen's not necessarily a quarterback that you need to stack, but I do think there is opportunity for Keon Coleman to take that leap. So good with taking him there. What about you guys? Have you got? Yeah, Palmer's just a guy. He's a jag. If you guys got any Keon Coleman exposure, what are your thoughts on him?
I like Coleman. I definitely have a few shares. I had a lot of them last year. Unfortunately,
I think they did. You'll have to check that. Pull that up for me, Jamie. Yeah, I had two. I probably had more of him last year. So it's kind of like, DFS, like we got to go back to him. Burned us last year. It's okay. We'll go back to him. He did have an injury last year that he was dealing with. And yes, arcade bar. I love old school arcade bars. Like, it's fun. Cheap drinks, cheap shots, cheap games. Like, I'm all about it.
I was wondering who else picked up on the pull it up, Jamie. I mean, I hear that 500 times a day, I feel like.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, 6 picks away.
Jamie, can you pull that up? I'll airdrop it to you right now.
What's that?
As I said, I always feel like it's, hey, Jamie, can you pull this up? I'm going to airdrop it to you. Herbert.
I was thinking about that. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to go quarterback that quick again because I also got Ridley and I could wait. Let's see. Herbert has a week 12 bye. Allen has a week 7 bye. Cam Ward has a week 10 bye. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Dan, I don't think I will. I'll save that for next draft. You can join me next week. We'll have you do it.
I took somebody with my last pick in a best ball draft the other day that I don't think if I gave somebody 100 guesses, they would ever pick it.
Yeah. I double up on Bigsby here? I guess I will. I mean, I could. I'll just bring the vibes. I'm not going to bring any, hockey plays. I'll tell you that.
We got to get Ivan on there, too.
Definitely.
Get y'all's West Coast perspective.
All right. So Herbert went. All right, I'm going to take Mims here, I think. Herbert went and prevented me from taking him. I think it was actually a good shout out, Darth. For sure. And, kind of one of the things about that, to your point, it will be different. And also, you're betting on
a teams,
right? So one of the things about, last year is everyone thought the Commanders were going to suck. And then they got Jaden Daniels, and he kind of changed the culture. And they have a good coach as well. Same thing with the Broncos. They thought the Broncos were going to suck. And then they got Bo Nix, and, they were pretty good offensively. So I think if you're buying guys like Cam Ward, who's undervalued for where he's going, in spot 150, Pollard, Tajay Spears has an injury. Pollard is going to start the year as, the starter again. And I got him almost 10 spots past ADP. And then Calvin Ridley, I just think that he's kind of undervalued for the amount of targets he's going to get. He could be a guy that finishes as a second, guy you should have gotten the second round of your drafts. And essentially I got him at pick 47. So I like that. I like the potential anyway.
I don't like Sean's accusations.
Vibes Tat brings us down. We need to lift it up.
Really, who believes that I'm the bring the vibes down guy. I am the vibes guy. I am your Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav. All right, so let's see if Cam Ward makes it back to me. If he does, that's an easy pick. If not, I need to start looking for another option. I think he'll make it back, but we'll see. I'm not sure that I have anyone in this draft on stream, so that should be all right. Ray Davis is a guy I could pair up with Josh Allen. I would be open for that pick as well. I'd probably take Cam Ward, though, just so I don't screw that up. All right, let's see Keenan Allen. One more pick. Boom, there went Ray Davis. That's fine. Cam Ward made it back. So I'm set at quarterback. I got 4 running backs, 5 wide receivers, a tight end. I mean, I probably need to think about getting another tight end here pretty quickly.
Do some squats.
Likely's been like an auto click for me when I already have a good tight end, just because his upside is so high, I think, this year. But
don't need to think about
bad play either.
Dylan Sampson. I mean, do you think that's going to materialize in anything with?
All right, I'm gonna take Goddard there. I just don't know. The reason I don't like Dylan Sampson is I think Jerome Ford's going to open the year as a starter if there's no Judkins, just because he's a vet.
Yeah.
And it's projected to be a bad team, and it's like I'm not trying to really get like when I look for ambiguous backfields, like I want an ambiguous backfield on a team that I think is going to be good offensively, like the Cowboys, I think. So that's why you're like trying to figure that out. Like I think the Jaguars are going to be good offensively with Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr., and Liam Cohen. Like the Browns, I'm not trying to figure that out. So, but I get it. Like he's going to be more of the receiving back. He's not a bad pick. I just think in this format, I want more sure things. I tend to draft less rookies in this type of format, unless I'm getting them late.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like Shakir. I was drafting him a ton, and then he had the high ankle sprain, and we're like, I'm not sure if he's going to be ready for week 1. And he already had like a questionable upside. Like he had a good floor, but questionable ceiling. So I haven't really been drafting any Shakir. I think it just kind of depends on when he gets healthy.
I don't know if I have any.
Khalil Shakir?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really think it's probably going to hurt you at all to not have any of him.
It's probably like when he comes up, it's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah. All right. Probably need to take another wide out for sure.
Ashy Larry's here.
What up, Ash? Yeah.
I learned just the other day that Ash is not Ashy Larry. It's a drunk guy who can't spell his name.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
That's a true story. Because I told him will always be Ashy Larry to me. And he told me how he got his name.
I take likely there.
What are you doing? What was it, like 2:00 in the morning over there, Ash?
You know what? I think I'm going to take Kyle Williams here. Get another wide receiver. Yeah. That's a good offense I want to be attached to. And he's a rookie. But I got him late, so I'm okay with that. I do want to get some rookies. I just don't want to have a team with a bunch of guys that aren't going to contribute early. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide receivers, 4 Running backs, probably need another running back. Let's take Jerome Ford. I think he's going to have some startable weeks for us. So that'll work. I think we're pretty good on bye weeks. They're spread out there. Same at wide receiver. We got 2 guys on week 12, 2 guys on week 14, but not like incredibly bad, where it's like 3 guys on the same bye. 3 studs anyway. Definitely need to get another tight end because not exactly ideal. Mason Taylor's a guy I think could be good this year. Arroyo's got some good camp buzz. Good to see you too, Ash. So you made your account when you were drinking vodka at 1:15 in the morning. I respect it. All right, so I'm loving this draft a lot better than the last one. We got our stud running back. We got a stud quarterback. I think we're pretty strong at wide receiver. Ladd McConkey is a stud, and I think he's kind of being undervalued a little bit right now because they got Keenan Allen. From the sound of it, when I was reading the Coach Speak Index, like Keenan Allen is not like here to take McConkey's role. He's not even going to be like ready right away to be in like a full-time role from what I read. I mean, he's played 13 years in the league. He's in his 30s. I don't know, but I think pretty strong at wide receiver, but I definitely want to finish this draft off with getting a couple more. I think I'm good where we're at running back. I would be happy with 5. Probably need to do another tight end. Need to draft another wide receiver. Coker's a guy that I've been getting.
Mm-hmm.
I've been telling Josiah about Coker. Like, I don't understand his value. People been sleeping on him. Like, he was good last year, and he's looked good in the preseason. %. The best and the worst decisions I've ever made have come after drinking vodka. But the thing is they all came with a story, and that's the most important thing. All right. Let's just take Mason Taylor here. I think
Tequila usually is before my worst decisions.
What's that?
Tequila usually precedes my bad decisions.
Yeah, and whiskey. I mean, when I was a single man, drinking whiskey, I was up to no good. I'll tell you that.
If I drank tequila, I was getting in a fight that night.
Yeah, all right.
There'd be no doubt that I would be fighting by the end of the night.
For sure, some people have that. Yeah, the problem with vodka is it goes down like water. So I would drink way more of it than I would drink whiskey. But I was always somehow worse on whiskey, but also terrible with vodka. So
I can't look at Jim Beam anymore after drinking it and throwing up. It's like I can never look at it again.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I like that. I mean, it could be, but also it's really high upside. Like if you're pairing him with like a guy who's steady, like I really like the upside of Likely. It's just hard to like a fragile build essentially with Likely just because of the injury risk and Mark Andrews there. So yeah, but I mean, hey, take some stands. I like that. And by the way, guys, if you're here, you like these live best ball drafts that we do, this, the talk through the players, the picks, the strategy, hit that like button. Let us know. Comment. Let us know who you are on in these drafts this year. Who's the guy that you have the most exposure to? Do you have 26% of a guy who's maybe high risk like likely is right now. And also, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we've been killing it in NFL preseason. If you've seen the DFS Army screenshots, NFL is here. We already have NFL DFS for the preseason. It's been crushing it through 2 weeks. You can get $50 off for the entire year. This gives you a full year of NFL DFS. This also includes UFL, and this includes best ball rankings all year long. $250 instead of $299. Code NFL25 at checkout. Or if you want to try it out, see what we're about before you commit for a full year, you can use code NFL2025 for 50% off your first month. This is in the video description. Just make sure you use that promo code at checkout. All right, we got one more pick here. Tattoo, what are we doing with this pick?
I wish I wasn't blind.
I got 2, 5, 7, 3. I'm set at quarterback and tight end, so it's either going to be running back or wide receiver.
Is that Beck up there?
Jack Bash?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It is.
I'm a fan.
Okay, maybe. One pick away. 2, 5, 7, 3. I'm probably pretty good at running back. So, yeah, let's do it. Why not? I'll let you make this pick.
Oh, Lord, I can't even see. What are you already doing?
So, when with 2, 5, 8, 3, Allen, Cam Ward, pretty set. Got a lot of floor and ceiling there. Even the week that Allen's out, I feel like Cam Ward's got a good floor with his running ability. Bijan, James Conner. I need James Conner to stay healthy for this one. I need Tank Bigsby to win the job. I need Jerome Ford to keep the job. So 5 running backs. A lot of the best ball bros will just tell you draft like you're right, essentially. So we took a running back early. And, we took actually 2 in the first 5 picks. So draft like you're right. That's the story this draft tells for sure. If Jerome Ford keeps the job, Bigsby is the guy that wins it. I like the wide receivers. I like Ladd. I think he could take another step this year. The offense could take another step. Ridley, I think he could lead the league in targets, definitely be a top 3. Diggs, we need Diggs to be healthy, right? I got Keon Coleman stacked with Josh Allen. Mims is a guy who is going to spike every now and then. He's good for a type of format like this. Besh and Kyle Williams are the rookies. So hopefully these vets carry me, and then Kyle Williams and Besh come on later on the season. I think Coker is undervalued. I like that pick. And then same thing at tight end. I got Warren and Mason Taylor. So these are the rookies. Tyler Warren, I think, will be more prevalent early on. Maybe Taylor comes on later, but I also got steady Dallas Goedert there as kind of the third tight end. So I think overall pretty good.
I want you to know that I bit my tongue for you just now.
What was the problem? Tell me. I don't care.
No, it's, like what we were talking about before we came on, to keep it cleaner. So.
Oh, okay.
So I had a opportunity, and I just shut up.
That's all right. We can say it in the Discord or when we're off stream. I appreciate that. I respect that, Tattoo. Ray, Jägermeister, never again. Yeah. We all have the one that we can't do. I can't do Spam. I had to eat Spam and chase it with horseradish sauce at CU Boulder. So I can't do Spam or horseradish sauce ever.
I had Spam not that long ago.
Yeah. Bottle banana rum, half a 2 liter of Sprite. Okay. Yeah.
I figured Sean's go-to was Rufinol.
Stop. Yeah. And then it looks like Ray has a lot of likely too. I've got a lot of likely as well. So we're all going down on the likely train. We are likely going down. But
Sugar, we're going down.
yeah. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. This was a fun one. We will be back next week. We got, a couple more weeks of this before the start of the NFL season. I do think we will head over to Drafters for one of these next week. We'll do the main event, 500K to first, similar format to Marathon. If you haven't signed up there, you can use my code for a deposit match, FantasyFling, at checkouts. And, of course, we will draft on Underdog as well. We'll see. Maybe we'll hit the Marathon again. I don't know. We'll see whatever content we got going.
I know I love Underdog.
But any final thoughts?
Good luck. Go to the merch shop and buy it out. And MLB show tomorrow at 5:30. And college football this weekend.
Love it. I didn't even realize it was this weekend. I got an NFL draft. We got my home league draft Saturday. My cousin just moved to Europe this past year. So we're doing the draft now at 1:00 Mountain Times. So it's like super early. The Broncos preseason game. We got college football. It's going to be a busy Saturday. I'm stoked. And yeah, draft Chris Rodriguez. He's a guy you should be targeting. Don't chase JCM up the boards. Draft the other guy.
Yeah.
Especially if you already draft JCM. So that's going to do it for this one. We will see you on next week. And of course, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification button when we go live, because Geek is going live all week for Best Ball Week, drafting best ball teams every day. So
yeah, it should be tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's win.
Tomorrow as well. So he'll be back for that. So check it out. We'll see you next time.